First of all, I would like to convey the heartfelt apology from Honorable Chief Minister this morning. He called me up at around 6 a.m. while he was on the way to attend one of the festivals, his pre-committed program, the Mijif Tribes Festival, Akar Tribes Festival, that is Sarok Festival. It is in West Kameng district, so he have traveled by road on the way, leaving early in the morning, and he have extended his deepest apology to each one of you, and he was very keen to be part of your program. But since it was a pre-committed, and as we all know, our tribal societies are very, straightforward, and our tribal societies gets too much sentimental when they missed up. Since all of you are intellectual, so HCM said that you will be understanding stand, and he have also extended extended you all his good luck for a successful meeting. Well, having said all this, sometimes it requires, heavy heart or heavy strength from my side to speak few words in the midst of the intellectuals like you. Though we can speak, though we do speak in the assembly or in a public place, but it is very difficult to share the thought, share the feelings, share the opinions in the midst of the host of intellectuals or sea of intellectuals like you. But it is a privilege for me to be part of you. And of course, I'll be using for some time the word I instead of we, because I have been closely associating with this fraternity, the media friends, for the last 3 decades. When I was a student leader, when I was a spokesperson of the Apex Student Organization of All Arunachal Pradesh Students Union, so I used to be associated with those journalists like Bhattacharji, who were in the UNI, PTI, and Ravindranji, who was there in the ECO Arunachal Pradesh. He's also no more today. And the Pradeepji, the Times Arunachal Pradesh, all journalists. And those days I absolutely agree with Shri Getarta Pathakji, who have said that professionalism. I have seen those people, rather than professionalism, they were sacrificing their life to grow the society. I know those days there were few vehicles. We used to pick them up from their home for any kind of press conference. So I have been, closely associating. I have seen how they have grown, the infant stage, how this journalism have grown in Arunachal Pradesh. And again, 20 years ago, little less than 20 years ago, I also decided to be part of your family. So I opened up an electronic media called Prime Time in Arunachal Pradesh. I was associated with the Dudasan also. But suddenly, the politics have snatched away from this profession, from this career, and I am into the politics since 2004. And I missed you all. And in between also, I sometimes try to be. Again, being in the government, since 2012, since 10 years ago, I'm closely associated with all the journalists as a parliamentary secretary of IPR or as a government spokesperson since last 10 years. When Namantuki was the government, and today, Honorable Chief Minister Pema Khandu again put me as a minister in charge of IPR and also the government spokesperson. So, I'm mentioning all this thing because I know what this journalist fraternity face problems. I have cried with some of the journalists. I have laughed with most of the journalists. I have seen their ups and downs. And even in the policy makings, I remember those places who faces problems, troubles. And your president had correctly said, professionalism means you have to make out income from this career also. But there are so many who are, I think, how do you manage? Sometimes we fail to understand. So while having all this experience, sometimes it becomes easy to convince the government how to, grow the journalism in our state, in our society. So in that process, and sometimes, since I am also, having the privilege to be part of the cabinet, council of cabinet, even in the cabinet also, it's very easy to convince our colleagues there. So I will be not dealing much about the, journalism, but despite, I have very close friends from the journalist friends, like Amar is there, Dodon is there, Ranju is there, so many, quite many of you, I should not name everybody. But though they are my friends, or some of them I treat them as my younger brother, but I have never tried to, interfere into their professionalism, journalism, ethics. I have never tried to interfere. I have never tried to prevail upon them to be though we sometimes we term that this report filler, one of the pillar of the democracy, that is the report filler where you are heading for. Though sometimes we take it as a mouth and eye of the government or the people, but we have never tried to prevail upon to be absolute eye of the government. You have your opinion, you have your own system, and we always try to respect the system that you have already established in your. Well, having association for the last around 3 decades, I have seen this thing, this paternity, or this pillar of the democracy was almost difficult to be institutionalized. I think it is not less than 10 decades the institutionalizing process is taking place in Arunachal Pradesh, where we also tried, the government have tried. The Honorable Chief Minister Pema Khandu is kind enough to establish a press club, a permanent press club building. I think I am informed that by next 1 or 2 months it will be open. You all be functioning from an institutionalized building. So we have tried to, work out wherever it is possible. As President have said, that Arunachal is the first state with highest amount of pension. I think this will be rolled out very soon. But I would like to remind our friend President Ji that everything should begin from Arunachal, because this is the land where the first sun of the country rises from Arunachal and it moves towards the whole of India. So today you have chosen Arunachal Pradesh to be, after a long 2 years to make your National Executive Committee meeting. It is a privilege for us, and I want to tell you that your meeting is coinciding the naming of Arunachal Pradesh, 50 years of naming of Arunachal Pradesh. We are almost decided to celebrate Golden Jubilee celebration, month-long Golden Jubilee celebration, starting from zero, where the then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi came and they named then Nepal into Arunachal Pradesh way back in 1972, that is 20th January, just a few days left. But again, this horrible pandemic is again moving. Today is the first day that we have to maintain the SOP of third wave of coronavirus, which has been decided yesterday by the disaster committee. So in that way, we have even tried to, initially our journalists were getting around 10 to 20 lakhs corpus fund, but Honorable Chief Minister is very kind enough to raise up to 2 crore rupees annually as a corpus fund. So it is already in a rollout. Even there was no system for electronic digital media. Honorable Chief Minister Pema Khandu was kind enough to have the Arunachal Pradesh electronic and digital media advertising policy. It is already implemented. We have a policy now in our Arunachal Pradesh, as you have already said. And we have even enhanced. We have also enhanced the funds for celebration of National Friends Day. Initially, it was a very meager amount, but that has been enhanced for celebration of National Friends Day also. And And we have also, we have made all this thing. There is a regulation that all accredited journalists of the state have been given Group A status for all government accommodation in subsidized rate. So this kind of small, is not a big way, but we are yet to go do many things. We have to support, because until and unless these four pillars of the democracy functions simultaneously, functions hand to hand, the true democracy will never prevail. We cannot subjugate one of the pillar and raise other pillar. All pillars should function together. Then only we will see the true democracy of any state or the nation. So I think today in Arunachal Pradesh, there was a war stage also. Our journalists were attacked. And it is for the first time in the country when the life of the journalists were in danger, the governments have to come down and issue a legal and licensed arms license to all the journalists whoever one desired. ये हमारा प्रदेश में first time हुआ है. So journalists can possess small arms to protect themselves, to defend themselves, for self-defense. So government have to issue. So these are certain things where we try to, work with together, to work with you, so that we all work for the people. Because one thing we should not forget. I am in the government. You are in the journalist. We are no longer in the government. We are no longer in the government, neither in the journalist, unless there is a people. Our interest, your interest, everyone's interest is only for the people, for the welfare of the people. जब तक आदमी है, जब तक public है, जब तक people है, then we are identified as, yes, I am a minister or I am an MLA, you are a journalist or whatever. Our sole target is only and only for the welfare of the people. We work for them. We enact the law. You educate the people. Sometimes I used to tell since I am in that IPR department for quite many years, sometimes I used to remind them, education department impart education to hardly somewhere around 3 to 4 lakhs population of the state. But IPR department has to educate the entire 16 lakhs population of the state. This is the responsibility today you have. We all have together have to educate the people. How to transform this part of the state or the country to transform into a better place to live in. तो ये हम लोग को सब चर्चा करना है. So finally, since all of you are intellectual, I'll be not talking much about it. But today you all have made me chief guest. I think we have gone other way around. I should have been chief host. Since I am here in the state, I should have invited all the guests from across the country. So next time, when you happen to be organized National Executive Committee meeting here in the state, or if I continue to be in the position, please make me chief host. I want to be part of the program. I will not interfere in your discussions and whatever, but in facilitating all things, I want to be part of it. So having said all this, finally I have one observation. If you wish, you can discuss. Today, people are confused in the in the era of social media. Today, people are confused to make out who are actual journalists and who are self-made journalists. Now, how do we evolve out? How do we make out? We need to frame out a policy. If you work out, if you can discuss, if you could discuss and work out and suggest the government, I assure you, I will try my level best that is enacted in the assembly also. Because it is very difficult. Today sometimes self-proclaimed journalists are more powerful than the actual journalist because of the social media too powerful. तो इसका आधार पर मैं आप लोग को एक रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहता है, अपील करना चाहता है, आपको डिस्कस करना है, डिस्कस करके उसको किस दिन से हम यहाँ सिस्टम बनाना है हमारा सोसाइटी में. people, कभी-कभी चाहे किसी इंडिविजुअल को हो या सरकार को हो या even journalist, I know the pulse of the journalist also. Even I, being in the government as a minister or as a minister of home, कभी-कभी बहुत चीज को मैं चुपचाप सुनना पड़ता है. I don't know for why. I don't know the reason also. Even I could hear from some of the journalists, जो लोग चर्चा करते हैं, जो लोग किसी का ऊपर अटैक करता है, हम लोग को जवाब नहीं दे पाते हैं. So there is a serious threat that is, going on in the society, confusing in the society. एक समय था हम लोग जब सोशल मीडिया का जमाना नहीं आया था. I think for some of the mainland people, actually I'm talking in Hindi. If you don't understand my Hindi, you can ask from your friends nearby sitting you. कभी-कभी हम लोग कंफ्यूज भी हो जाते हैं, समझ में नहीं आता है. तो ये चर्चा में ये विषय में आप लोग को मैं रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहता हूँ कि चर्चा कर सकने से कीजिएगा. क्या सिस्टम बना सकते, क्या मैकेनिज्म हो सकता है. If there can be a mechanism to identify that these are the actual journalism. क्योंकि मेरा जो एक चीज जो मैं प्राइम टाइम एक ऑफिस खोला था, the only I have suggested or requested the people working in my office was that we cannot give judgment. हम सिर्फ कुछ दोनों चीज का दो ग्रुप में लड़ता है, तो दोनों ग्रुप का ओपिनियन को रख के let the people decide. तो ये हम सजेस्ट करता था लोगों को. तो इसलिए मैं ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं लेके, because you have to go business season in the afternoon after the tea break. So I believe and I request to all the delegates from across the country that please take back your home the good memories and leave back all the bad memories here in Itanagar, and we will try to rectify it, and next time we will visit, you will see that is rectified and you will see better things, better place, better people. And I would like to request the organizers also that whenever this kind of things are made in Arunachal Pradesh in future, we should take some more time so that we make them, travel to some part of the state to see the people's, hospitality and the beautiful place of Arunachal Pradesh. So I don't know how many of you have come for the first time, but I have asked Madam have come for the first time, and I asked the President Saab that he said he is just nearby, वो तो हमारा पड़ोसी है, गुवाहाटी से, तो आना जाना चलता रहता है. तो ये इसी के साथ I congratulate the entire organizing team and the presidents and secretaries of the Indian Journalists Union for a successful meeting, executive meeting in the afternoon. And I think we are trying our hard, level best to make all of those who are banned callers. But still we are working in it, so I'll be just immediately after this program, I'll be leaving for a meeting, 2-3 meetings are there. Hopefully we prevail upon those youth organizations so that they follow the ban, and you can move, you can enjoy the evening in the evening also, and tomorrow you can live peacefully. Otherwise, I don't know what will be your arrangements. We are very sorry that you have to face this kind of situation in Arunachal Pradesh. It is very rare these days, but then sometimes, जो मैडम ने कहा कि कभी-कभी जर्नलिस्ट में भी पॉलिटिक्स के तरह डिवाइड हो जाता है, तो हमारा पॉलिटिक्स में तो एवरी मॉर्निंग एवरी इवनिंग डिवाइड होता रहता है. तो यहाँ शायद इस विषय में कहीं पॉलिटिक्स भी गुस्सा जैसा लगा है. तो आई शुड नॉट डिस्कस ऑल दिस मैटर इन योर फंक्शन. So with this, I am grateful to you for giving me this privilege to be part of you, and I have been promoted from guest of honor to the chief guest. I don't know whom to thank you. Should I thank the chief minister or thank the organizer? But it is a privilege for me, and I request the organizers, especially Amar and all Dodongji, that if there's anything you require or any kind of support you require, I am there, we are there, the government is there, and we will work together, we'll bind together and work together for the welfare of the people, for the state, and let us place ourselves that we all together will transform this part of India into a better place to live in. Thank you very much.